You like my new gavel? Agenda regular workshop, regular commission meeting, 7:00 p.m. Wednesday, November 8th, 2023. Pledge of allegiance, please. Okay, we're over by the door today. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All righty.
Roll call, please.
Acting Clerk Commissioner Kasham,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morset,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed,
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins is absent and excused absent, and Commissioner Jacobs is outside the chambers at the present time.
Okay. With that, we have a quorum. I'm going to skip the deletions or withdrawals till he comes back. At least we can knock out. Let me see, what do I want to knock out first? 'Cause I think I want him here for B&H, since we're not, it's just a discussion for 12 point.
You don't have one of those for me?
12.5, I'm going to just do that as a quick discussion item because it's not anything that we're going to vote on today. 12.5. Okay. You guys got to it yet?
Yeah.
Okay, so 12.5, Public Information Officer. So before JC left, he entered into a contract for a PIO for an amount not to exceed 10,000, which is his managerial discrepancy threshold. And so we're nearing that $10,000. So I would like to renew the contract for a year. So had the conversation with the attorney, and we're currently soliciting bids for it so that we can, be in line with our procurement process. If you guys would like to meet him, I'd like to introduce him to you guys real quick, since he's been covering us since August with some of the stuff that's going on.
Press the button.
Go. Good evening. Evan Ross with Public Communicators Group. Happy to be here and have the opportunity to continue to help Pembroke Park with communications.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions of him?
No.
Okay. So he's been doing a great job in handling our media relations, having those conversations, working with us when we've been getting some bad things thrown our way. And he's been mediating that for us so that it keeps us looking in a positive light. Okay. And he can actually do other services that I'd like to stress him out about eventually if we could stop dealing with crisis management. Okay? Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Okay, with that, I am going to go back now to, when he's ready, I'll go back to 4. Okay, so item number 4, deletions or withdrawals to the agenda. Are there any deletions or withdrawals to the agenda?
11.2 is moved to the next workshop.
Okay, so you want to move 11.2?
Vice Mayor, is your mic on?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Is there any other deletions or withdrawals to the agenda? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the amended agenda as stated. Is there a motion?
Motion to,
Adopt the amended agenda.
motion to adopt the amended agenda.
Is there a second?
I second it.
Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Morset, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Kasham. Commissioner Jacobs,
Yes.
Acting Clerk Commissioner Kasham,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morset,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, thank you. I am going to move one other item up just because I know that somebody has a previous engagement. So 9.4, zoning amendment, acting town manager, public service director, Ghani. The applicant is 2550 LLC.
$12.4, you said?
No,
9.4.
9.4. Okay.
Madam Mayor, as the planning consultant approaches, may I read the title into the record? For the record, Mayor and Commission, ordinance number 2023-017 is an ordinance to the town of Pembroke Park, Florida, amending chapter 28 entitled zoning by specifically amending section 28-209, creating subsection H, providing for certain temporary uses, providing for expiration, providing for codification, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Okay. You're up, Michael.
Mike.
Yes, good evening, Mayor, members of the Town Commission. My name is Mike Bonner-Mullen with Keith.
You weren't expecting me to call you so fast. You want me to just call it Rachel?
I just have a very brief, I'll just do a very brief presentation and then turn it over to the applicant. This is a request for the creation of a text amendment to allow some temporary uses over in the newly approved MXC district. During that process, there was a rezoning that had occurred, which allowed some additional uses and encourages a lot of mixed use and entertainment. However, it was realized that the sewer system for the city or for the town is yet to be installed. There are certain property owners, one in particular that has a vacant lot, that would still like to utilize their property while the town is in the process of designing and installing the sewer system. And they have proposed a couple of temporary uses on the property in the interim. And so this item was presented to the Planning and Zoning Board, where it was recommended for approval, and it was workshopped at the last Town Commission workshop. The uses in particular are on-street parking, subject to the parking use agreement, a retail showroom and storage, and parking uses on the property. And that concludes my presentation.
May I, Mayor, just as Mr. Von Muellen, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but just procedurally to speak to this issue, if I may. Following the commission workshop, we did a little more due diligence, consulted with your planning consultant a little bit, and as a matter of procedure, I just want to bring to the commission's attention a few things. The ordinance on tonight's agenda does not approve the applicant's application. It is a text amendment to the code to provide for additional uses within the MXE. Those additional uses would be subject to commission approval. If this item were to pass tonight, when it comes back on second reading, there would be a companion resolution which would in fact grant the uses to the applicant. So there was a procedural step that we noticed was absent when the item was presented at the workshop, because while the MXC was amended several months ago, it did not contemplate any temporary or conditional uses that would require the commission's approval. So what the ordinance before you does would establish those temporary uses subject to commission approval. When you see the item on second reading, there'll be a resolution which actually approves the applicant's application and grants the authority to engage in those specific uses. It's a procedural step from a planning perspective, but we wanted to ensure that your code correctly reflects the uses that are being contemplated.
Okay.
And again, I would defer to the applicant for any additional comments.
Thank you, Mr. Planner, Mr. Attorney. Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of the Commission. Rachel Streitfeld, 7293 Northwest 2nd Avenue with the Caldera Law Firm. I represent the applicant. Your attorney explained it very well. Your planner also explained it very well. As I explained during the commission workshop, we want to be able to utilize this parcel right now. And to do that, we would need temporary uses permitted in the MXE district. So this is an amendment to the MXE ordinance that would allow the temporary uses. I would request one additional thing from you all, and I've spoken to staff about this, and they know I'm about to ask you for this. In your B1 district, you permit medical marijuana dispensaries. In MXE, you permit pharmacies. While Florida law acknowledges that a medical marijuana dispensary is a pharmacy, the distinction between pharmacy and MXC and medical marijuana dispensary, specifically in B1, might be a little bit confusing to any future elected official or attorney or whomever. So the simple request that we're adding is to, while you are amending the MXC, to allow medical marijuana dispensary as a permitted use in the MXC. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
And if I may, just to add to Ms. Streitfeld's comment, she's absolutely correct insofar as that under Florida law, medical marijuana dispensaries can only be regulated in the same manner and fashion in which the town regulates pharmacies. We had this conversation on a related topic about a month or two ago. That use is currently permitted in the MXC, just as a matter of law, because pharmacies are allowed in B1, B1 is allowed in the MXC. I think what Ms. Streitfeld and her client are requesting, just to avoid any future confusion, is that we add specific language authorizing that as an express use subject to commission approval as one of the uses in this text amendment. I certainly would have no legal objection to that request.
We good? I can open a public hearing?
The only thing I just want to clarify, that has to be part of the text amendment.
Yeah, we would add that
Okay.
between first and second reading.
All right, yes.
So you'll have it on there for the
It will
next
be on for second reading.
Okay, okay, thanks.
Okay.
If
Okay.
you all don't have any more questions, if there are no questions for me, I'll.
Okay. I think you're good. Thank you. Okay. So I'll open up to the public. Is there any public discussion on this? No. I close it, bring it back before the commission. Is there any further discussion?
Nope.
Okay. So you already read it, so is there a motion? Eric, you're in the hot seat today.
Yes, I am. I'll make a motion to change the ordinance 2023-017.
I second it.
Okay. Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Morset, seconded by Acting Clerk Commissioner Kashem. Acting Clerk Commissioner Kashem.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morset.
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion passes.
And just for the record, Mayor and Commission, this item will come back on second reading on December 13th. We will include the change requested this evening, and you will also see the resolution to grant the applicant's application at that time.
Okay, perfect. All right, thank you. All right, that one's finished. Thank you. Safe travels. Okay, so we're gonna skip around again. We're gonna do 5.1, presentation, police commendations.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Roshana Dabney Donovan, Chief of Police for Town of Pembroke Park. First and foremost, I would like to thank the commission for allowing me this opportunity to present these officers with some commendations. It is very, very seldom that in our career we get recognized for jobs well done. I think that people have an expectation of law enforcement officers that we're supermen and we're superwomen and we take on all of these roles, and very often the roles are often overlooked. So I just wanted to take the time to commend some of the officers that have been going above and beyond. I also want to tell them how proud of them I am. I always say that it's an honor to work alongside them. And I continue to feel very strongly about that. So I wanted to say thank you to them before we get started. This young officer is one of our reserve officers. His name is Brian Raval, and he's actually a nurse by day and wanted to continue his law enforcement career with the town of Pembroke Park. So I'm honored that he is a part of our family. Officer Raval, can you come up? I'm going to read to you why he's getting this commendation, if you will just indulge me, please. On October 31st, 2023, Acting Sergeant Brian Dodge penned the following email, and I quote, Good morning. Last night, Officer Brower and Officer Revolve responded to a call of a dog injured on the side of the road. It was unclear if the dog was struck by a vehicle. The dog was critically injured and needed immediate medical attention. Officers Brower and Revolve immediately acted and picked up the dog and put the dog in the police vehicle. They located a nearby animal hospital and transported the dog to that hospital. The quick actions of these officers possibly saved this dog's life. Here in the county, we often run into issues when it comes to animals, especially late at night, and they, as you can see, work the night shift. So it was imperative and it was prudent that they got the dog the necessary medical attention, and they were able to successfully do that. So tonight I present Officer Revolve with a certificate of commendation for recognition of commendable performance, invaluable support, and unwavering dedication to the police department. Thank you. I also got just a small token of appreciation for you. We can show everybody if you want. I was told to show everybody, but that is for you. You're welcome. And thank you for everything that you do. Next up, Officer Ryan Brower. He's one of our younger officers who has just continued to impress me. He made the decision to come over from another police agency, and I could not have asked for a better person to show his skills and do everything that he's doing. So he's one of our younger officers who's coming up, and I'm excited to see his progress. This letter, same, penned by Acting Sergeant Brian Dodge on October 31st. Good morning. Last night, Officers Brower and Revolve responded to the call of a dog injured on the side of the road. It was unclear if the dog was struck by a vehicle. The dog was critically injured and needed immediate medical attention. Officers Brower and Revolve immediately acted and picked up the dog and put the dog in the police vehicle. They located a nearby animal hospital and transported the dog to the animal hospital. Their quick actions possibly saved this dog's life. So you are being presented with the certificate of commendation for recognition and commendation, commendable performance, invaluable support, and unwavering dedication to the police department. So. Of appreciation. Thank you, Chief. You're welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much.
I have one officer who fell ill this week, so unfortunately he's unable to make it, but he is going to be receiving this award alongside one of our other officers, Officer Rimmer. If you will come up. She is also one that I'm very, very proud of. She answers the call, not just on the road, but she is one of our officers who do not drive with your suspended license. Don't drive with any drug paraphernalia in your vehicles, because she will find it, okay? Trust me, she will find it. And we're happy to have her. On October 30th, 2023, Acting Sergeant Brian Dodge penned the following email, and I quote, "I would like to commend Officers Rimmer and Velasquez. On 10/23/23, Officers Rimmer and Velasquez responded to 5525 Southwest 41st Street in reference to subjects possibly urinating in the parking lot of the apartment complex next to a white vehicle. Upon arriving, Officers Rimmer and Velasquez observed a 2017 white Infiniti backed into a parking space with 4 subjects inside. Contact was made with the subjects, and records checks of the driver of the vehicle revealed the subject had 2 felony warrants out of Broward County for robbery, aggravated battery, and grand theft auto. The subject was taken into custody and transported to BSO Main Jail for processing." A records check of the vehicle revealed the tag attached to the vehicle was not assigned. However, the vehicle belonged to the subject who was in custody. The vehicle was not able to be operated on the roadway and therefore was towed to max towing. Officers Rimmer and Velasquez should be commended for conducting a thorough investigation, which led to removing a violent, wanted felon off the street. Drake, great job. Of commendation, Officer Rimmer, for recognition of commendable performance, invaluable support, and unwavering dedication to the police department. Thank you. Thank you. And last but definitely not least, we have Officer Horace Vickers here with us tonight. Officer Vickers, if you would come up and join me, please. He is also one of our newest, youngest officers, and I'm also proud to have him as a part of our family and our team. You ask Officer Vickers for any assistance with anything, and he answers the call without any hesitation, and he's always here to assist in whatever facet that's needed. So I'm very, very proud to have him as part of this team. On October 10th, 2023, I personally have received the following email, and I quote, "Dear Chief of Police and Commissioners of Pembroke Park, it has been years since I have taken the time to write a letter to recognize kindness, excellence, and pure character of what law enforcement should reflect. In brief, my name is Philip Baker III, and I am a retired Leo from Winnipeg, Canada. Recently, more so 4 weeks back, I was passing through your town to make my route to Hollandale Beach for business meeting and to visit my dearest niece. On my way to my destination, I had to stop at I don't think it was Wawa, but it might have been Racetrack, fuel station near the highway. As I was leaving the fuel station, I see one of your officers feeding the homeless. I believe he purchased McDonald's or Wendy's. The memory is vague. My apologies. The officer was a young African-American male, thin. Without making myself obvious by staring and not interrupting his gesture, I did a quick glimpse at his name and patrol number and immediately captured it on my cell. His name was Vickers with a patrol number 108. I am hoping I caught that quickly enough where he can be identified. Yes, sir, you did. Thank you. Upon my return home, it daunted on me that experience significantly enough to do this. Law enforcement personnel is not what they used to be, and the field in and of itself makes individuals desensitized by the horrors seen throughout the years. The homeless population across the world are seen with bias and disgust because of the various stigmas that go along with homelessness. However, I did not see that in this officer while caring for the homeless. For what it is worth, I can guarantee that he may do this regularly without getting praise or seeking attention. Those that perform from the heart do things in silence. I hope this email reaches him so that he is aware and can continue to serve his community despite the narratives. Sincerely, P. Baker III." Present you with this certificate of commendation for recognition of commendable performance and valuable support and unwavering dedication to the police department. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Once again, I want to take the time to thank you guys for allowing me to recognize these fine men and women. They are doing a stellar job out here in the community, and we really appreciate the opportunity to have this done tonight. So thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you for your hard work. We appreciate all the work you give to our town and dedication. 5.2 National American Heritage Month. There's a proclamation for that. We're going to move on to 6.0 public comments related to agenda items, good and welfare.
Jeffrey Jacobs. Oh, sorry. First resident, Jeffrey Jacobs.
Commission and residents of Pembroke Park. I got this. Been around a long time. Commission and residents of Pembroke Park, I stand before you today as Jeffrey Jacobs, a resident of Pembroke Park. My address is 3120 West Hollandale Beach Boulevard, Lot 622, Hollandale, Florida, 33009. Today, I wish to address a matter that has come to my attention of utmost importance regarding compliance notice violation issued by the building official, Steve Pizzillo. Notice of violation number 9026, reference Florida Building Code 553.73, a code that, as it has come legally to understand, does not apply. I'm accused of 2 violations: installation of multiple windows, exterior repairs to the west side of my home done without obtaining the required building permit, and plans or inspections. These accusations are false and appear to have been made with pure malice. On November 3rd, upon returning home, I discovered a notice of violation in my mailbox. At 4 p.m. that day, I promptly sent 2 emails to the town of Pembroke Park. The first email, addressed to Chief Code Enforcement Officer Ramirez and Acting Town Manager Ganny, requesting a copy of my code enforcement file. Interesting, this email made its way to Channel 10 for that evening news. The second email, submitted to the town clerk and Acting Town Manager Ganny, did not receive the same media attention. The email was a records request seeking information on how many violations the building official, Steve Pizzillo, has issued. The response I received, only 1. That's telling. However, it's come to my attention that the town, not even the media, and the media, received a not-so-anonymous letter about me. Accused me of replacing windows and siding on my mobile home without the proper permits. Again, I was never made aware of this that came to the town. And once I was made aware of its existence, I requested a copy from the town attorneys. That's when I was provided that. What you all are clearly unaware of, upon discovering the water damage a few years ago and the repairs I needed, I consulted with Pembroke Park's building official and the building department. I was informed that when it comes to mobile homes, there's an existing separate set of Florida laws covered under MSH 24, Division of Motor Services, Manufactured Housing Section. The mobile home windows were replaced with mobile home windows from Mobile Home Depot. The siding was replaced from the same supplier. This constitutes a repair which no permit is required under these statutes. Therefore, no violation occurred. To simplify this matter, I can finish here or I can finish on the dais.
Well, that's a personal matter. It's not a city commission issue, so.
To simplify that, this is a
You want
commission
her to
matter.
waive how is it a commission matter? This is a personal issue you have with the building department. Are you asking for a waiver? Are you asking for an abatement of a fine? What are you asking this commission to do?
Let me finish my statement, and it's at the
But your
conclusion of
time
the
is
end.
over.
To
Your time is
simplify
up,
this
sir.
matter,
Sir, your time is up. Do you want
okay,
to?
so I got 2 choices. I'm going to finish this on the dais, or I'm going to finish it here, because this involves.
First warning.
Okay, we'll keep with the warnings in. To simplify
Keep with
this
the warnings.
matter,
You
to
have 3
everyone
warnings before
understanding,
you're removed.
I have attached copies of the purchase receipts and a card from Mobile Home Depot to verify
Second
the
warning.
legitimacy of these materials. Additionally, I have included the Division
Sir, your
of
time is
Mobile
up.
Services from Mobile Home Depot, from Mobile Services MSH 24, and highlighted the sections underscoring the applicable
You wanna run that
aspects of the statute from mobile homes.
What?
It's worth noting the 3 pictures that were provided by the not-so-anonymous
Waive
complaint
her time.
are readily available on my personal computer
Waive his.
that were taken with my personal cell phone. I shared these pictures with the town clerk when she was dealing with water damage in her own home. Unfortunately, the town clerk chose to distribute copies of our personal text messages to the mayor. I believe
How am
this
I
has
in this?
conspired amounts to continual harassment, slander, and defamation of character, and it comes with consequences of civil liability. I want to emphasize that I've stood behind every complaint I've ever made with my name, my signature, and my reputation on the line. I can't say the same for the latter. In light of these circumstances, my personal recommendations are as follows. The incident should be reported to Steve Pizzillo's employer. He should be relieved from his position effective immediately, and a new building official assigned to the town of Pembroke Park. Also, I'm recommending the town clerk be suspended without pay on an ongoing investigation to determine an appropriate course of action. Also, for Channel 10, as much as I do not like Commissioner Hodgkins, he at least deserves to have his name spelled correctly when his unfounded personal attacks on me. I appreciate your time and attention in this matter and look forward to our time in court. Copy will be provided to the town.
Thank you. Next, public comments.
Next, we have Angela Jacobs.
Okay. Since you kept talking overside your time, they ran the clock for the next one, so you have a minute and 41 seconds left.
That is inappropriate. Every speaker gets 3 minutes.
You had your
Yeah,
3 minutes,
6.
and you went over your 3 minutes.
It's okay, I'll sit here and do it on the dais. You're not going to violate my First Amendment rights.
It's not about violating your First Amendment rights. There's a time and a place for a conversation. There's also order and decorum. In order for us to facilitate a meeting and be able to run a meeting efficiently and effectively, we have limits. You voted for those limits to be 3 minutes.
One who violates decorum on a regular.
I'm not sure who you're referring to on that matter because I'm not the one who constantly sits here and asks you to follow the rules that you implemented and that you actually voted on that wasn't in place when I was here. So you're the one who made
penalizing the next speaker specifically
Well-
because it is my wife.
I asked you, I told you that your time was up, which is what the rules are. You voted for those rules. I wasn't here. You
Every
voted
speaker
for it.
gets
You put
3
it-
minutes.
And you went over your time. So therefore, afterward, I said to you, while you were standing there, if you want to replete the tape, we can go back to it. You are going to end up waiving your wife's time.
So are you going to violate my rights or my wife's First Amendment rights as well?
Well, then what would
Because
you
you're
like?
limiting her 3 minutes of time.
Because you took her 3 minute time.
I did
you're
not.
technically one entity. You took her 3 minute time. Were you not referring to the same issue or incident? Yes, you were.
I spoke.
I said, are you going to waive your wife's rights to speak?
Did you hear me say yes or no to that?
You didn't, but you continue to talk outside of the 3 minutes. So therefore,
So
you must
therefore,
have
you are
acquiesced
going to
it by
violate my
silence.
wife's First Amendment rights.
I am not violating your
You
rights.
just said you're violating.
You also said that you complied, that
attorney.
it was not
I did not
malicious
comply. I
intent.
told you I
So
was
therefore,
gonna
you said that it was correct.
into the record.
And your
one way
time
or
was
another.
up, sir. Your time was up.
And you're
If
not
that's
gonna
the case, then
violate my wife's
Why do we
time.
have rules? Okay, so then you know what? I'd like to make a motion to remove the 3 minute rule that he put in place back in 2021. Would you like to second that? Then you guys could have all the time you want
You
to.
still have the gavel that's not a legal motion.
Okay, here, I passed it. Here you go. Would you like to do that? Could we undo everything else you did? I'd like to make a motion to remove everything that this man has done for the past 3 years for the town.
Wow.
Because clearly you don't care about the rules. And that's evident by what you're literally coming in here to speak on.
I'm actually coming in here to speak on our code enforcement officer or code enforcement department and our chief building official married to the
Okay,
town
but
clerk,
why can't you
violating my
follow the
rights.
3 minute rule? Why
False.
did the last meeting that you had where you kept talking and I've asked you 27
She me?
times?
Is this woman me?
27 times.
Is this me?
Okay, but here's the question. I asked you 27 times for order and decorum and you don't follow the rule. So what would you like for me to do?
Is this me?
Because we're wasting time again.
I'm not wasting time. You can proceed, but she gets 3
So you
minutes
get-
of time, just like every other speaker that comes in here.
You know, what? Go ahead, but here's the deal. Moving forward, you need to follow the rules or else you will be evicted because I did give you 3 warnings.
You've
That is our
already locked
rule.
me out of town hall before.
I
in
have not locked.
meetings.
Do I have the?
I have it on the record for March 13th.
March
You
13th?
adjourned the, or I'm sorry, September 13th.
I
You
wasn't on the
adjourned
dais in
meeting,
March 13th.
And you locked me and the general public out of town hall. The police chief
Why did you leave the
and she
meeting?
was sworn in.
You're the one that left the meeting.
The meeting
No.
I
we
packed
were-
up and left. and
Okay, how many times have I tried to adjourn the meeting when you kept getting out of control and you just continued to talk? So therefore, the meeting was not adjourned if you continue to go and nobody moves.
And you're
Correct
the
or
one
not
dragging
correct?
this out. I'm not going to argue with you.
Well, I'm putting it, I'm
with it.
stating it
Going
for
to
the
court.
record. Okay, go to court. And I would appreciate also if you'd stop naming me as everything, because I noticed that everything is my fault. I'm not the one who did
Cupcake, if I
construction
can't
to your
tie you
house.
to it, I'm not going to mention your name
You
in it.
you
And I can tie
did. You
to
just
having-
said it on the record. that
And
it had
I can
something to do
tie
with
you
this. I
to
have
it.
no idea. Okay.
Mayor, Commissioner, can we move on, please?
We can. I'm waiting on the mayor to move on.
I would appreciate very much if you stop including me in all of your life's decisions. I have nothing to do with it. I'm not a member
I'm
of
not
it.
going to let you violate
I am not
residents'
violating
rights. My
rights.
wife is a resident and a business owner here in town. And you're violating her rights by cutting her time.
Listen, you're violating my rights to have privacy when you keep sitting here posting me all over your Facebook page. I've never seen it. You have more posts of me on your Facebook page than I do on my Facebook page.
I highly doubt that.
No, my name is mentioned in almost all of your posts.
No.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Listen, we're not here to discuss my public Facebook page of me
Well, I would
exercising my
appreciate
First
it because
Amendment
you just
right.
said that I had something to do with your violation on your property. When this letter went to everyone, was not even here when this.
And you
letter-
have a copy of those photos as well.
Yeah, that's just to
everyone got a
see
copy that
today.
was
Not from there.
Everyone got a copy that was mailed. Do I have a personal copy somewhere?
Yes, you do. The town
Please
clerk
show me.
gave you a copy of all our text messages, and that is in there.
I actually don't
'Cause
have
I
a
sent those
copy.
pictures to the town clerk.
Okay, I
And if I
don't.
can't prove that you have it, I
Please
will
prove
admit
it.
I'm wrong. But I'm not going to prove
Okay.
it tonight.
are wrong.
I'm not. I'm not.
Marlene, can I get a copy of all of your text messages since I don't have it?
She already has
Okay,
it.
I don't have it. I'm sorry. I don't have it. But you keep
You
making
think
these
you're slick,
innuendos.
but you really screwed the pooch on this one, hon.
Sweetheart,
Got it.
you're not that
Got
important
it.
to me, just so
I
you
got
know.
it. I got it.
So,
Proceed.
you don't have the gavel.
Okay.
Actually, I did pass it to Eric, so Eric's got it.
You don't either, for that matter.
I don't have it, so Eric has it.
Yeah,
But I'm
well.
gonna, Eric, would you like to pass the gavel back to
Yeah, I
me?
would like to.
Okay, thank you.
You can
All
use
right.
it as you please.
We're gonna move on. Go ahead, give her 3 minutes. Let's get it over with and move on, please.
Lift the microphone up.
I'm here as a business owner, not as anyone's wife, not as anything. As owner of Amelia's
Start the clock.
Espresso and only licensed food truck in Pembroke Park, I'm troubled by the proposed ordinance that threatens to hinder not only my thriving food truck business, but also the livelihoods of local entrepreneurs who contribute to the vibrancy and economic welfare of the town of Pembroke Park. The slogan, "The small town that means big business," stands in stark contrast to the restrictive measures being considered here. Each element of the proposed ordinance serves not as a harmless regulatory effort, but as a significant barrier to the operation and growth of small business. For example, limiting operations from dusk to dawn eliminates prime hours in the food truck industry. In contrast, Pembroke Park has liquor stores open 23 hours a day and bars that stay open 24 hours. So why are you targeting the one and only food truck? Restricting parcels to only one food truck unfairly limits consumer choice and variety. As you're already aware, my business is bringing in other fellow food truck entrepreneurs. Prohibition of tables, chairs, and other furniture unless a special event permit obtained hampers the ability of food trucks to provide a reasonable dining experience for patrons, thus diminishing the appeal and functionality of the service provided. This ordinance appears not as a fair regulation, but as part of personal vendetta and targeted effort to constrict the operation of the only legally licensed food truck operator in the area, my family business. These regulations would not only harm our enterprise, but would also deprive the community of valuable gathering spaces and dining options, directly undermining the entrepreneurial spirit that the town of Pembroke Park is falsely advertising. We urge the Commission to reconsider these measures and work collaboratively with local businesses to foster a regulatory environment that truly reflects the town's commitment to being a place where businesses can thrive.
Thank you. Are there any more public comments?
Yes, there is one more. His name is Daniel Lassan.
Okay.
If you could please state your name and address for the record, please. Thank you so much.
Yes. My name is Jean Daniel Lazar. I live at 5216 Southwest 32nd Street, right there. Can you start the 3 minutes for me, please?
Oh, I'm so sorry. My apologies. I was writing down your information. Go ahead.
I came up here in great spirit until this little situation came about. And I want to make sure I put in the record that I am disgusted, disappointed, and I want to apologize to, as a matter of fact, I want to inform the city employees here, our police officers, I apologize for what we just saw here. I believe in this city, and I have two daughters that I always want to make sure that they have some sort of great example to look up to. This is not it, and I would like for us to do better. Moving forward, the main reason I came up here is I am a county employee, and I'm fortunate to be responsible for anything south of the county line. And I'm a resident of this city, which is north of the county line. So I am privileged to see the traffic flow of the county line on a regular basis. There is one case that is in place that I know of that's gonna take place is the development in the county line with 0 lot. I wanna make sure you understand clearly the liability of building such high rise within that county line, which does not have sufficient right of way to begin with. It is dangerous. And majority of residents in this great, beautiful city of ours, they are pedestrians. And the county line on a regular basis, drivers are almost driving on residents walking down that road. I want to make sure you guys understand that if any form of building that's taking place on the county line must be considered adequate right of way, and also be considered by the traffic flow in that county line. I am in that district. This is where I live, and I'm so privileged to say, again, south of that county line, as far west you can think of, as far east you can think of, I am also responsible for those, and they are within my purview. Please think twice, because the death, the traffic, the hit and run that's gonna take place will be on whoever approved this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was the last speaker.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Consent agenda. Does anyone have anything they wish to remove off the consent agenda? Not, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the consent agenda as is.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Consent agenda. Consent agenda.
Oh, consent agenda.
Okay.
I second it.
Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Morset and seconded by Acting Clerk Commissioner Kashem. Vice Mayor Morset,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
Yes.
Acting Clerk Commissioner Kashem.
Yes.
Motion passes.
8.1, purchasing manual, intern town attorney Horowitz.
Thank you, Mayor and Commission. For the record, Resolution 2023-025 is a resolution of the Town Commission, the Town of Pembroke Park, authorizing the proper town officials, the Town of Pembroke Park, to implement purchasing policy and procedures manual attached to Exhibit A, authorizing the town manager to make certain non-substantial changes to the purchasing policy and procedures manual, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date. Mayor and Commissioners, as you are aware, this item was presented briefly at the Commission workshop. This is one of the items that was an outgrowth of the recent investigation by the Inspector General's office with regard to purchasing procedures and P-card policies in particular. The attached manual, includes a codified P-card policy for the town to consider, along with certain purchasing policies and procedures which are consistent with the town's procurement code, codified in the town's code of ordinances. It's been reviewed by your professional staff. It's been reviewed by your legal staff. We recommend approval, particularly with regards to the OIG investigation. As we know, the Inspector General's office had indicated they're going to be doing a compliance follow-up in 60 days from the issuance of their report. This is one of the items that we anticipate they would be looking for. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay. Is there a motion? Vote up.
Motion to approve resolution 2023/025.
Is there a second?
I second it.
Any further discussion? If not, I'll call the roll.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Morset, seconded by Acting Clerk Commissioner Kashem. Mayor Mohammed,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
Yes.
Acting Clerk Commissioner Kashem,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morset.
Yes.
Motion passes.
9.1 Travel Policy Ordinance.
Thank you, Mayor. Commission Ordinance 2023-014, if the record, is an ordinance of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, amending Chapter 2 entitled Administration by creating Article 12 of the town's Code of Ordinances entitled Travel Reimbursement Policies and Procedures, providing for codification, providing for conflict, severability, providing for an effective date. And again, Mayor and Commission, this is also one of the follow-up items and outgrowths of the Inspector General's report. For the record, as you are aware, there was a recent change to state law which requires the inclusion of a business impact statement for all ordinances subject to certain limitations. That is complied with and consistent with this provision. The item is on the table for your consideration.
I'll open a public hearing. Is there anyone from public that wishes to speak on this matter? Yes? No? You raised your hand. just teasing. Okay, I'll bring it back before the commission. Is there a motion?
Yeah, I make a motion to approve ordinance 2023-014.
I second it.
Okay. Any further discussion? Roll call.
I need a motion.
She did.
You had a motion by the
Oh, I'm
Vice
so
Mayor, second by Commissioner Kashem.
My apologies. Motion made by Vice Mayor Morset, seconded by Acting Clerk Commissioner Kashem. Commissioner Jacobs,
Yes.
Acting Clerk Commissioner Kashem,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morset,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion passes.
For the record, Mayor and Commission, this item will be coming before you for second reading on December 13th.
9.2 Parks and Rec Advisory Board.
Thank you, Mayor. Commission Ordinance Number 2023-015 is an ordinance of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, amending Chapter 18 of the town's Code of Ordinances entitled Parks and Recreation, specifically creating Article 3 to be entitled Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, providing for the establishment of a Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, providing for composition, providing for meetings, providing for definitions, providing for duties, providing for codification, providing for conflicts, severability, and providing for an effective date. For the record, Mayor and Commission, there were a number of comments that we received at the town's workshop 2 weeks ago. Those comments have all been incorporated. We've also shared the item previously with Commissioner Kashem. All of her input has also been added as requested. The item's on the table for your consideration.
I open a public hearing. Does anyone from the public wish to speak on it? Nope. I close the public hearing, bring it back before the days. Is there a motion?
Yeah, motion to approve ordinance 2023-015.
Is there a second?
I second it.
Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Morset, seconded by Acting Clerk Commissioner Kashem. Acting Clerk Commissioner Kashem,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morset,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs.
Yes.
And again, for the
Passes.
record, this item will be before you for second reading on December 13th.
9.3 Youth Advisory Board.
Thank you, Mayor. Commission Ordinance Number 2023-016 is an ordinance of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, amending Chapter 2 of the town's Code of Ordinances entitled Administration, specifically creating Article 13 to be entitled Youth Affairs Advisory Board, providing for establishment of a Youth Affairs Advisory Board, providing for composition, providing for meetings, providing for definitions, providing for duties and responsibilities, providing for codification, conflicts, severability, and providing for an effective date. As with the last item, all comments that were requested at the Commission workshop have been incorporated. The item is on the table for your consideration, Mayor.
I open a public comments. Anyone from the public wish to speak? Nope.
Discussion.
Okay. Go ahead.
I think bringing children into this environment in the town of Pembroke Park is completely inappropriate, and do not believe the town of Pembroke Park needs a youth advisory board. This is not a situation or a town that has the ability for children right now. And I think this is bad for the youth. in Pembroke Park.
Well,
This is a very bad environment for children.
okay. Is that all for your discussion?
That's it.
Okay. So I'm going to just give it two little. Oh, you want to speak? We do have public comments. I mean, you're more than welcome to come up.
We just
Come down,
need
come
you
and
to
state your name for the
podium.
record.
Yeah, and use the microphone so we all can hear you.
I think I'm gonna be outspoken. Please don't kick me out. Don't on me.
We need your name one more time, sir. I'm sorry.
State your name.
My
Sorry.
name is Daniel.
Microphone.
My name is Jean Daniel Lazar. I live on the other side of that, right there. What? Do you understand what you just said?
Absolutely.
Do you understand right now? If stress level was measurable right now, do you understand you are the push of that stress?
Do you understand you have a convicted murderer sitting behind you that's been stalking my family for 3 years?
Who is that?
Gentleman right there,
Who?
sitting behind where you were sitting. I have undergone nothing but attack after attack after attack in the town of Pembroke Park. Relentless attacks, frivolous complaints sent to the media, not to the proper authorities, as I do.
We keep this on. This is.
This is
youth
No, no,
advisory.
correct.
this
I just-
environment.
I wanna say
This
something.
environment
Yeah.
is right now the current situation of the
Pause
town
his
of
time.
Pembroke Park. The environment
Pause
of which
his
this is for children
Oh,
is
please.
inappropriate.
Please time me, because I don't want to go too far on that one.
We have a community farm that's open for the children on the weekend. Families, everyone comes over there. That's appropriate. This government situation here in Pembroke Park right now is not a place for children. So this.
Are you talking about yourself here?
No, I'm talking about the entire commission sitting up here. You don't understand what is really going on, and I will have a long conversation with you outside the dais at an appropriate, outside of this conversation we can have outside later.
Okay.
I will
now-
fill you in on what you're missing.
No, I'm just, bear with me here. Bear with me here. Do you understand that every time that you are in any meeting that whether I'm online or I'm present here, somehow, somewhere, you end up being the one that create the hostile environment. I'm seeing it from the outside.
Did you attend meetings prior to March of 2023?
March of 2023,
Yep.
I have been privileged to be part or follow online since the last election, where I came up here and I made my statement and encouraged that the environment that was remain. Then as time continued, you end up being the person that I was hoping that the commission is not. You know what I'm saying here?
So let me give you a suggestion.
Please don't.
No, your time stopped.
Okay.
Let me give you a suggestion.
Yes.
Go back and watch the videos prior to this election, okay? And I will fill you in. You and me, we will go have coffee. We'll
Okay.
sit down and we will have a conversation. And I will fill you in what is going on in Pembroke Park,
Okay.
okay? That is my promise to you as a representative and a servant to the community of Pembroke Park. I will sit down and have a long discussion with you. And trust me, it's a good one. You will understand where I'm at right now and what I have to deal with up here.
Are right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Toxic.
Absolutely.
Where's the movement of this?
As you heard this evening, I got blasted in the media on a violation that's not a violation on my home by the town clerk's husband, who is our building official. So here's the thing. Do you see the media here trying to see the truth of the matter? No. They like the hit pieces, okay? Just like this commission, they like to do hit pieces, okay? 19,000 tax dollars were spent on a hit piece to attack me, most of which is frivolous, if not the entire thing.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
So if you sat there being attacked since March, what kind of position would you be in?
No, I hear
So let's have this discussion outside the dais.
you. Bear with me, Commissioner. I hear what you're saying. However, what just happened here, where 3 minutes was provided, which I, a resident of Pembroke Park, will be glad. That's why I keep asking, please make sure you keep me on in line with the time. I am more than willing to follow the rules here. But you, as commissioner, where from what the piece that I just found, I understand that you voted on, decided to say, you know what, it doesn't apply to me, it applies to everybody else.
And sir,
What you just say right now.
understand, I have been blasted in the media frivolously. I've been accused of being a redneck, a bigot, anti-Semitic, homophobic, misogynistic by staff and members here, which I am not. This is not a community in which I would live if that was all true. I brought diversity into my town. I tried to pass domestic partner benefits. I built the police department for the community. Me and the police chief built all that. We changed the direction of this community. All this new development in town, that's because of me. It wasn't happening before. The town was failing. It was.
May I say something? And I'm gonna give you the credit.
Oh,
May I?
Go ahead.
Please. I'm gonna say, okay, if you say that's what happened, I'm gonna say so. However, right now, no matter what you have done, you've been doing since then, for me, right now. And that's why I'm asking you and the rest of the commission to do better. But that's it.
I understand what you're saying.
You are the cause. I'm telling you right now.
Like I said, you and me are going to go have coffee, and we're going to have this discussion. I make myself available to you.
But I would like for you to refrain from that statement you made, because you are, as I'm looking at,
I am very upset.
cause of what we're having here.
I do not back that I'm upset, sir.
Make sure I put that out there.
I'm being attacked by literally everyone sitting on this dais.
I apologize. I just want to make sure.
Okay.
Thank you for your.
We'll get together.
Thank you for your comment.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna come on down. I do want to get back to the Youth Advisory Board, which is a community board for our residents, for our youth, so that they
And
have
that is what we're
activities
discussing right now.
Not really, because you've gone off on every other tangent.
Okay, my name is Mark Young. I'm a resident of West Park, and I've
Please,
lived my
sorry, sir.
whole life
Please,
here.
sir, if you could just state your address for the record.
4160 Southwest 25th Street, West Park.
Thank you.
I spent my whole life here since 1965, and I think I have a great amount of knowledge of both municipalities. Okay, I'm loving Pembroke Park right now. I mean, I am really loving Pembroke Park, and there has been a lot of confusion between the two municipalities, and working, with Mr. Jacobs at one time and working with Muhammad, I have came to, conclude that we can do better, once we get all this here personality differences out of the way. As y'all know, Mr. Jacobs just said to this young man, I guess he left, that he was sitting behind a murder. Oh, yeah? Okay. Listen, yeah, I did went to prison for murder. Okay, second-degree murder. I did 14 and a half years. Also did my time. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and try to convince you what happened in my case, okay? But I can tell you this here. I didn't like what happened to me. I took advantage of everything possible to better me when I was in prison. Mr. Jacob, do you know I did 21 and a half years on parole without one blemish? Not one. Ever since I touched the ground, I tried to be a positive person for my community. I even tried to work with you. At some point, we fell apart because I didn't believe in your sincerity about bringing the two towns together. When I questioned that, you went off on me, started making all kind of accusation about I'm trying to team up with the mayor at the time, okay, which would be Muhammad. Little do you know, the very day I was introduced to you by her, that was the first day I ever had a pleasant conversation with Miss Muhammad. The first day. And do you know, I learned how much work Muhammad did to help West Park become a city. And our own public officials didn't tell us that. I had to find it out on my own. And I have always been here for the two communities. I came here tonight because we didn't have a meeting in West Park. If we had had a meeting in West Park, I would have been there. But Mr. Jacobs, say what you will, okay? I am never gonna say anything about you like that in the public, okay? I don't have no grudges with you. I don't hold grudges. We had our differences. As far as I'm concerned, they over. Thank you
Your time is
very
up,
much.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So back to the actual item at hand, it's 9.3, the Youth Advisory Board. So what this Youth Advisory Board will do would be having children in the community coming out to meet here, doing events for the children, and also being able to use that to build and boost their resumes. I personally think it's a good idea. Most cities do have a youth advisory board. I think that we will be background checking everyone to make sure that they are safe to be around our children, and that some people may not apply for that or may not be able to be able to be around our children. I think that that's a good thing for our kids to be able to provide a advisory board where they're able to give their input on what local government is and what they would like to see their parents' tax dollars doing for their community, and be able to engage in with other children. So that's why I pushed for having a youth advisory board. In the past, I've taken our children to the National League of Mayors Conference in California, where they were able to engage with other kids, and so that they could engage, they could give their input on what's going on, and be able to communicate with other children and see what other cities are doing for their children. The first order that I would like to do with our kids is a actual time capsule. And I think that would be a cute thing for our kids to do, to be able to engage, and also for our town to be able to recognize them and recognize their input into the community as children. So with that, I will entertain a motion for a youth advisory board.
I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance 2023-016.
I second it.
Okay. Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Morset, seconded by Acting Clerk Commissioner Kashem.
Roll call.
Vice Mayor Morset,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
No.
Acting Clerk Commissioner Kashem.
Yes.
Motion passes.
And again, Mayor, Commission, the item will be on the December 13th agenda for second reading.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay. Um, 10.1. HR outsourcing RFQ or letter of intent. So, oh, come on down. I saw the finger.
Roshana Dabney Donovan, Chief of Police. This is unprecedented, so I apologize for the interruption, but we got a call over the radio. Apparently, there was a complaint made to BSO's call center by Commissioner Jacobs, so I feel that it's imperative to address the complaint that we have before we go any further, if you will allow me to do that.
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs? There was a call from BSO that you called
I did.
complaint.
It's inappropriate for being on the dais. So we can take a recess and you and I can discuss.
I don't know what the,
I don't think we need a recess. What's the issue?
Oh, I'm going to have the discussion with the chief.
I don't know what the protocol.
Yes, let's have it out in the open.
Just, yeah, it needs to be out in the open. It's going to be public record regardless if it was a call made to 911. So
And at that time, it's appropriate.
I guess, and again,
I'm not having the conversation on the dais. I will have it off the dais with the chief, the town attorney, and the town manager can all be present.
I think that's entirely the prerogative of the commissioner. He's not compelled to engage in any public conversation if he doesn't want to. It's up to the police chief if she feels compelled to make a presentation. But there's not a requirement, certainly, to have any public conversation that the commissioner is not comfortable having publicly.
then
I say we hear the chief.
I would like to hear what the 911 call is on the record and address the issue.
Okay, so
That is completely inappropriate.
I don't think so.
FDLE has already been notified as well. So we can have a conversation off the record. We can put a commission meeting on hold at the moment and have the conversation. That would be appropriate.
All right, we'll give you a 2-minute recess since this is the town of Jacobs and everything goes the way he wants to. So you have a 2-minute recess, and then afterward,
attorney?
whatever issues you have, you can bring it
Town
back and
manager.
forth. But I would like for it to be on the record in public.
2-minute recess.
the chief took a point of personal privilege.
Okay. Hold on. Actually, you know what, give me 2 minutes. Let me just. Meeting resumed at 8:36. Okay. So it has come to my attention that the police have been called because there is an allegation by the commissioner that I have a weapon on me, particularly that I have a gun on me. So with that, I am going to allow the chief to search my purse on the record so that everyone can see. I will also present myself here as well in front of the officer so that these baseless allegations, which are disrupting us from conducting business, which is what we're here to do, I want it put on the record so that we won't be having to deal with this anymore or again. So I'm going to come out to the front so that everyone, including the cameras, have a correct and clear, accurate view and depiction of what's going on.
I just want to put on record that you don't have to do this.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
This is not the first allegation that has been thrown my way based on Commissioner Jacobs' complaints. I've had numerous allegations brought against me in the past. And so with that being said, is there a clear and accurate view of the camera? Mark, you tell me if there's a clear and accurate view. Should I do it on the dais? Should I do it on the floor?
So I've got to take the purse just to.
Listen, I will pour the contents out.
Hold on.
Because this is just a little bit excessive. I mean, my dress, I think it's kind of tight that if I was actually carrying a gun, it would kind of already be visible. But I don't know, would you like to?
Hold on.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just asking because it's upsetting to have the police called on you to say that you're doing something when you're not, especially for someone that I really don't. My life doesn't revolve around other people, it revolves around my family and about helping this community. And every time we have a commission meeting up here, there's always something stopping us from getting the order of business done to benefit this community. So I want to move forward. I would like for the baseless allegations to stop. I would like for the waste of resources by calling the police, because how much do you guys get paid an hour to come here to answer a frivolous call? So with that, here you go.
Hold on.
Don't. I'm gonna put like a little table here.
Yeah, sorry.
I just want to make sure, I mean, it's not,
You're on camera.
not a big, it's not really a big bag. It's okay, listen,
You can get the
don't feel
microphone.
away, I mean, because I could have been on the street, I could have been in my car driving somewhere for this frivolous call to have come through. So I just want to put it out there that today, November 8th, 2023, I'm now dealing with another false and baseless allegation made by my co-commissioner. Is there enough space for anything big in my little pocketbook? Just gonna open up the zippers. Yeah. So I just wanna. You wanna touch my phone? Yeah, bubble gum. There's nothing really in there, so that's what I'm saying. Like. Yeah. Can I get a male opposite to pat me down? I'm just kidding, but I mean, as you can see.
Now they're flipping coins.
Y'all make me feel good the day before my birthday. So, I mean, I'm just saying, like, literally, look, if there was something on me, you would kind of see it. I mean, there's nothing here. I mean, that's as far as you're gonna get on my thighs. But, I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. Does that clear the?
Yes, and just for the record, I would like to put on record that I've already asked you, and I've already searched you. So thank you for your cooperation.
Okay.
And I apologize for the interruption, but as a police chief, as a police officer, when I hear certain alert words, I had to come and disrupt the meeting. So I apologize for the disruption of the meeting.
Mm-hmm. No, I appreciate it. You know, we take everyone's safety concerns into account, but I mean, you know, unfortunately, people don't seem to understand what a credible threat is from what is delusional. And so I just wanted to put that on the record. And now with that, we're going to move on to the other items on the agenda. And hopefully this will be the last time that we are dealing with this incident or incidences similar in this nature. Okay. So we were up to HR outsourcing RFQ or letter of intent. So we've had, oh, sorry.
The meeting is running.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So 10.1 HR outsourcing RFQ or letter of intent. So basically, we've asked around, we've gotten some prices for HR consulting firm. It's going to be about approximately $70,000 for us to hire in-house person. It would be basically about 200. It would cost the town 200,000. So with that, bless you. I would like to do either RFQ or a letter of intent to put it out there so that we can start soliciting HR firms to get someone in place for handling HR for the town. So if you guys are okay with that, then I'll entertain a motion to direct the attorney to either write a letter of intent or RFQ and get it out there to solicit.
All right, motion to move ahead with the outsourcing of human resource or for the attorney to.
Just to be clear, would you like us to prepare the bid specifications? We're happy to do that. I just want to make sure that's the direction.
Yeah.
And not the manager. We're happy to. I would just ask the manager if staff could provide us with the
cooperation
scope.
with the manager.
And we'll happily collaborate. Thank you.
Perfect.
I second it.
Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Morsad, seconded by Acting Clerk Commissioner Kosham. Mayor Mohammed,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
Yes.
Acting Clerk Commissioner Kosham,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morsad.
Yes.
Motion passes.
11.1 Park Lake Gates.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. This item is actually back before you. It was an item that I brought before. It's concerning an entry and an exit gate for the Park Lake Estates. It was directed to the interim town attorney to prepare an agreement for actually using the public right-of-way, which he did. There are two items of business that I believe I would like the commission to give direction on, and that is the time. What length of time would you like this agreement to be? What period of time? Whether it's going to be, over a 10-year period, or whether it's going to be a period where both parties could dissolve the agreement, and also the compensation. Is there a dollar value? In the package, you will see that there's a sanitary sewer lift station right adjacent to the entrance. They have agreed per agreement to a prior agreement to actually maintain that area and actually prepare an area where the utility vehicles could have access to the lift station at no cost to the town. So in lieu of all of that, my recommendation is, a minimum amount if there's a value or a dollar value attached to the agreement, and also some sort of time limit in the agreement. I don't know if the attorney has any further comments.
Yeah, and I think the manager is right. And there are a couple business terms I believe that he's looking for your guidance on. I would just offer for the record that the license agreement we prepared provides for a termination by either party on 30 days' notice.
Right.
So and I don't know if the applicant is requesting a specific period of time, but again, the commission can certainly grant any period of time that it would like, to the extent that it'd like to allow the gates within the right-of-way. There is the ability to terminate on 30 days.
Correct. And I don't think you would like it in perpetuity, right? Some sort of time limit or time frame.
How do you guys feel?
Yeah, how do we go about this? Do you need directions for this?
Yeah.
Or?
That's
What they're asking for is direction. Do you want to do 10 years? Do you
Again,
want
these are business
20
terms.
years?
yeah, I know. That's what I was saying. Yeah.
With a 30-day right to terminate? Do 20
What is
years.
custom?
Terminate.
What's custom in these kind of cases? 10 years?
If I may, just as a recommendation, why don't we put 10 years with an option to
yeah.
renew?
Okay, let's do that.
And that was my original, direction. 10 years with an option to renew for another 10.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
All right, so you'll have the agreement for us. Do we need to vote on the agreement or?
The agreement is.
The agreement is prepared. It's just these two terms.
Okay.
It's going to be added to the agreement. I think the way it is prepared, you guys give me a direction to already approve.
Okay.
So, and they're just waiting on these two items so we can execute the agreement.
Okay, so you guys are good?
Okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Compensation, any compensation for the right-of-way? Or are we okay with, in lieu of preparing the area for the utility vehicles to get access to the lift station?
I like that they're gonna block off that just for the
Okay.
utility vehicles.
Okay.
Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah, fine.
Okay. Okay.
And pictures were produced, were actually in part of the package, so you could see exactly where.
Okay. Okay. 11.3,
Sorry, Mayor, you need a motion to approve.
You need a, yeah.
That's what I asked you. Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to approve the agreement with the amendments as stated. Correct. Make the motion.
Oh, well,
11.1.
yeah. Motion to go ahead with 11.1.
Motion to approve the
Well,
agreement.
yeah, motion to approve the suggested.
With the suggestion of a 10-year period and a 10-year renewal, extension, sorry.
Second?
I second it.
Okay. Is there any further discussion? Nope. Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Morissette, seconded by Acting Clerk Commissioner Kashem. Commissioner Jacobs.
Yes.
Acting Clerk Commissioner Kashem.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morissette.
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay. 11.2 was pulled. We're up to 11.3, executive recruiter. So, back in August, we voted to, I want to say it was $30,000 to hire an executive recruiter to do the manager search for the permanent town manager. We had directed staff to go out and solicit quotes from the ICMA or FCCMA, whatever the proper term is, the City Managers Association, to give us quotes for the companies that do the executive recruitment. We have 5 bids here. I've reviewed the bids, and the bids were, we gave them to you about a month ago for you guys to look it over. It's time for us to pull the trigger on the executive recruiter.
So
You have,
are we continuously looking for a interim, or should we skip?
well, we had voted to do this anyway. This has to
Yeah.
be done. So, I mean, this is like a 6-month process. They can probably speed line it to at least 3 months, but we need to get a contract signed with them so that they can start preparing the solicitations and start reaching out to their network so that they can do it.
Okay.
So, I've reviewed them. For me, I've reviewed them. Staff has also had communications back and forth with them. I would recommend S. Norlock. She came highly recommended by the League of Cities. She's worked extensively with them, and they're out of Tallahassee.
Well, sounds like a start.
Okay. Yeah, we got to get it done. So, if you guys could, I'll entertain a motion to retain S. Norlock. S.
Yeah, give me that name.
Here, I can't say it. And I probably was butchering it.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to attend Renee Narlock. I hope I said that right. Otherwise, I apologize.
For the executive recruiter.
Yeah, for the executive recruiter.
Okay.
I second it.
Okay. Is there any discussion? No. Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Morissette, seconded by Acting Clerk Commissioner Kashem. Acting Clerk Commissioner Kashem.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morissette.
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs.
No.
Motion passes 3-1.
Okay. Okay. 12.1 food truck vendor ordinance. So I brought this to you a couple months ago because we were ticketing Hennytown for having a food truck in the back of their business. I think the last violation they received was in February of 2023. And so we don't have anything on the books for regulating food trucks. And so I asked for this item to be put so that we could deal with the violations that were occurring to one business in the city. And so that we'd have something on the books because food trucks have been asking. Also, what is the name of the chicken guy in West Park? Why can't I think of his name? Yes, Chef Tally. So Chef Tally was also having some issues in West Park, and he is looking for he is possibly looking to relocate. He actually used to be in the town many years ago, and so we need to basically have some rules and regulations on the books for food trucks. And so I asked the attorney to write something up, and he's drafted basically what the Broward County ordinance is.
Similar. We did actually. It's we did draft, and as I previously mentioned, the town is the town has the ability to regulate, but it is limited in what it can regulate. There are certain preemptions when it comes to state law and the regulation of food trucks. For instance, we do not have the option to ban food trucks in the town. We do have the option limitedly to regulate food trucks in the town. There have been a number of ordinances that we've worked on over the course of time for various municipal clients. We actually did not prepare Broward County's ordinance. I was unaware this was aligned with theirs. I haven't reviewed the county ordinance. But there are several out there that we have looked at as a model. This is somewhat of a conglomerate of a number of ordinances that are out there. It's somewhat of a menu for you all to consider. I'm a lawyer. I'm not a mind reader. I don't know exactly what restrictions and regulations you are looking for. The mayor has provided me with some input and some other model ordinances that she would like to see in the code. Based on the information that I have received, I would go ahead and revise the draft that is in your backup. If anybody else on the commission has specific comments or recommendations, I'm certainly open to any input the commission has to give. And I'd bring an ordinance back for first reading at the next meeting if it was your will and intention.
And I apologize for the late start because I know I just handed you the stuff because I hadn't read it up until this week. So I apologize for
No problem.
not having read it beforehand, but I did give you my input on what I'd like to see.
So we are.
It's just discussion.
This is not for first reading. This is just discussion.
Yeah, so we are using the Broward County's rules and regulations.
Well,
They,
again, yeah,
but-
it may be some of them. I believe some of the provisions in the ordinance may be included within the Broward County ordinance as well. Candidly, we look to the city of Tamarack, the city of Cooper City, and the city of Pembroke Pines, which are 3 ordinances that we've drafted over the years. Our intent was not to reinvent the wheel. There are models out there that we've worked on, and we figured we'd pull from some of those documents. I'm sure Broward County has aligned. It's very common for municipalities to regulate in a similar way, so I'm not surprised to hear Broward County has similar regulations as well.
Well, sounds like a plan.
Okay. So I just want to make sure that the reason that the items are listed for 12 point whatever is because I won't be at the next meeting on November 27th. So that's why I put my discussion items on here so that they won't be pulled so that we can move them forward for the next commission meeting, voting meeting.
And if I may, just so I'm clear, this will not be on the agenda for the 27th. This will be on for first reading in December. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor.
I have discussion items on this.
Go right ahead. It's discussion.
Section C, limitation. The limitation of sales area to 3 parking spaces or 600 square feet, whichever is greater, arbitrarily constrains the potential of food trucks to serve larger community events and gatherings. These restrictions, along with the requirements of additional parking spaces, can make it logistically impossible for food trucks to operate in many areas, thereby diminishing the services that can be offered to the community. Section D, prohibiting overnight presence on the property for mobile food truck dispensing vehicles ignores the reality of the food truck business model, which often includes early mornings preparations and late night food service hours. These limitations severely disrupt business operations and reflects the lack of understanding of the industry. E, while compliance with the town's noise regulation is reasonable, this provision could be used to vendors for using ordinary sounds of business from their customers' interactions to the operation of kitchen equipment, further compiling their ability to provide an enjoyable and vibrant atmosphere for patrons. F and H. The restrictions on signage include the prohibition of detached signs and mandate that all menus and signage be affixed to vehicles, unnecessarily stifle marketing efforts and the ability to attract customers, which is vital to the success of any small business, especially those that are mobile. Most food trucks use sandwich signage for their menus, and space on their truck themselves is very limited. Furthermore, signage affixed to the vehicle falls under the state's preemption. I, limiting operations from dusk till dawn, except during specially permitted events, disregards the early morning commuters and the evening dining hours, thus excluding a significant portion of potential businesses and customers and service opportunities. In contrast, Pembroke Park has liquor stores open 23 hours a day and bars that stay open 24. Why are you targeting the food trucks? M, restricting parcels to hosting only one mobile food truck unless specific permissions are granted unfairly limits consumer choice and variety, which are key to vibrant and competitive market and the benefits to the community. As you are aware, my business is my business is bringing in other fellow entrepreneurs. And the prohibition of tables, chairs, and other fixtures unless a special events permit is obtained hampers the ability of food trucks to provide reasonable dining experiences for patrons, thus diminishing the appeal and functionality of the service provided. These ordinances, this ordinance does not help the town of Pembroke Park in its small town big business and make business thrive. These regulations that are put in this ordinance do complete opposite and restrict business. I'll send you a copy of what I have.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Okay. As the attorney stated, we are basically following the codes from other cities. It's kind of interesting that we would cite one food truck but not cite another. So it's kind of an unfair advantage to some folks, and it disenfranchises those other businesses in the city who have food trucks like Anytime.
There's
So-
a difference between them, Mayor. One is the legally licensed, fully licensed food truck, and one is not.
Well, no, Anytime it actually has a restaurant. It's a catering truck for their restaurant. So it's something that we need to address, but we were trying to stick with having similar codes as the county has, as well as the other municipalities. So I think it's something for discussion. And like I said, this is just a discussion item tonight, and it's not being voted on. 12.2. Walk program for the employees and residents. We had started this in the past, and we'd like to continue it by having a walking program for the employees and residents where we encourage our employees to exercise so that we can get lower rates for our medical insurance and also for our residents to stay healthy. And, you know, over time, if you have like so many stamps, you can get like a t-shirt or a water bottle or something. So this is one of the things that I wanted to have for discussion. The second thing is Aiden's life-saving ring. So Aiden Perry was a young boy who died while trying to save the life of someone else. So those life-saving rings are being put around the county right now, and I'd like for us to make sure that all of our waterways have them, because it's easier and safer to throw a ring out to someone versus swimming out there and trying to save them, where you end up putting your life in peril. So that's the second item I'd like to have for the next meeting. But like I said, I won't be here for the workshop, so I just want to make sure that the discussion is had and everybody can give their input on it. The third is the food purchasing policy. I gave that out to you guys back in March. No, what's 4/13? April 13th. Yeah, I gave that out to you guys back in April. It's something that we need to discuss, which is how do we deal with purchasing foods and things for the city and having a policy in place, because there's been too many fluctuations on things. During my 17 years on this dais, food purchases still had to be tied to some form of legitimate government purpose. So what we used to do was, if it's an event, we purchase food for, those who were here for the event. Commission meetings, if we knew we were going to be running late, we bought food for the entire staff, not just one or two people. So I think that we need to have a written policy stating that we don't single out people. We don't take folks to restaurants on a one-on-one basis, staff members. But you are allowed to have business working meetings with folks outside of staff. If you're meeting with, consultants or things like that, yes. But for one-on-one, because it feels like you're singling out one employee or you're praising them versus not doing it for others. Also, having food delivered here, we don't pay for food for employees. It's normally, in any job, you pay for your own food if you're working 9 to 5. So when we have purchases for food, it shouldn't be a town expense because we're commissioners. You know, if we're sitting here right now, for me to go and order Popeyes and have it delivered and put it on my town card, it seems like an inappropriate expense because you're paid to do your job, and food, you live right around the corner, like, go home. If that's the case, or bring your own food. We don't do it for the employees, and I think it's unfair for it to be single-sided, where if we don't do it for the employees, we don't do it for the commissioners. I think that's a fair and safe assessment. We've never done it in the past. I was here for 17 years, and we never did things like that, and I don't think we should. I think that's a waste of taxpayers' resources. It does not have a legitimate government purpose. And so I think we need to line in our food purchasing policy so that it doesn't waste taxpayers' dollars. It's not fair to the taxpayers because they can't get that at their normal 9-to-5 job, so we shouldn't be doing that here. So everyone has a copy of the Harvard food policy, which was in the 413 backup, and I'll make sure to get that out for you guys as well for now, and me and you will work on that as well.
So is it just so I'm clear, is that direction to bring back a policy? Is that the
Yes.
Mayor, the document is attached.
It's in the backup. Yeah.
It's in the okay, it is in the backup, so you guys can look it over. But basically, like, you know, what's a legitimate food purchase, what's not a legitimate food purchase, no alcohol. Because it was funny when I was going through the credit card receipts, I did see some blue Hawaiians on some of the receipts, and so I think that, you know, we need to make sure that we're following IRS code and the Auditor General's codes as well on purchasing of food, and also have our own policy to make sure that we have something on the book so the OIG can't be going after us and saying we don't have a policy. The next item I have is...
I'd have some discussion on that.
Go ahead.
I find it very interesting that you bring this forward at this time because I just recently was made aware that around here in Pembroke Park, Fridays were free for all, like for food. The town manager, this is all prior to my being elected to office, Dr. Levy, every Friday, the directors and Dr. Levy either had lunch catered in or they went out to lunch somewhere, and they did that on the town's dime. That was repeatedly every Friday, and that was all under your previous administration. So I was actually just privy to that within the last couple of weeks, that used to occur around here all the time. And that was a norm for every Friday here in Pembroke Park. This is all prior to March of 19.
Okay, well, I'm not aware of that, especially since Dr. Levy wasn't here on Fridays. So I'm not sure where that information came from, but if you could provide some receipts, I would love to see it. Yeah, good luck with getting him here on a Friday. With that being said, anything else you'd like to discuss on food purchasing policy?
Nope.
Okay, we're going to move on.
Besides all the food and buffets and everything else that went on here for years, that happened. So,
well, like I said before, if there was a working meeting, you could have food, but it had to be for all the employees. If you were doing a banquet, if you were doing some type of celebratory thing, that was for all the employees. It wasn't for one or two employees being singled out and taken to lunch or taken to dinner on the taxpayer's dime. It was everyone. And I mean, you have employees here who were here during Dr. Levy's time, and I'm sure they can tell you that there was no food on Fridays. Mark, would you like to come on down? Jocelyn, you were here as well. Were you coming to Friday free-for-alls? Because I don't recall Friday free-for-alls. I mean, hey, that's just me.
Cool IT director. Is there a question?
Was there Friday food for all?
To my knowledge, unless it was a special occasion. So I don't know. I've been here 20 years and we didn't get free food every Friday. Would be nice, but no, that didn't happen.
I mean, I'd appreciate it. And I mean, my mom, she cooked occasionally for staff. Well, she cooked a lot actually for staff, and that was out of her own pocket. So, I mean, I'm not sure, but if you can provide it, I would be greatly appreciative. But I know I don't recall any commissioners ordering Popeyes and having it delivered because they were in the building and putting it on the town's dime. We didn't have meetings. We have a building for our meetings. We didn't take one or two staff members out to eat repeatedly. That's a waste of taxpayers' money. It's not fair to the taxpayers, it's not fair to the community, and it's not fair to the other employees. We've always had a one for all kind of policy. If you do for one, you do for all. And I don't know what happened when I left, but it didn't seem like that was being carried on. But that's why I'm asking for a policy to be implemented, because we didn't have those policies in the past, and I think we need to address it and make sure that it doesn't happen moving forward.
I agree.
Okay. 12.3, training for commissioners and planning and zoning members on fundamental planning. I think that as newly elected officials, and when we put people in positions on planning and zoning, that they need to have an understanding and the fundamentals of what a comp plan is, and making sure that things are being done to the comp plan, and making sure that we're staying in line with what the town's vision is. And so I want to make sure that we're all trained. So I'd like to bring someone in to provide training to the commissioners and also the planning and zoning board, since you're seeing applications, but you don't know what we can and can't do, or, what we would like to see, what the vision is, because once you build something, you can't take it down. So I think that it would be imperative that this commission be trained on it, and I'm going to look towards finding someone to come and get us trained. So I think that would be important.
All training as well.
Yes. 12.4, WBE MB component for purchasing. A lot of cities have components in their books regarding minority businesses, women-owned businesses, small businesses. They make up 90% of business in this country, and it's kind of hard to bid on projects as a small company. But the county has a program where basically they like to award 10% of contracts to smaller minority businesses. And so I would like to follow the same rule that the county does, and make sure that we're spending money locally with small businesses, women-owned businesses. So if you guys don't have a issue with that, I would like to push that forward for the December meeting as well. And yes.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, Madam Mayor, with the MBE and WMB, any sort of federal funding,
I know.
Federal grants or most of those agreements cannot have,
The WBE, MBE
the WBE, MBE.
Yeah, but our procurement, our normal procurement.
Understood. Locally,
yes.
Broward County and the local municipalities do have those as well to encourage, local businesses to be part of the town's, business. It's actually, some of the things and goods and services that are provided. But just keep in mind, some of the grants that we get federally, we cannot put that language in there as well.
Yeah.
And if I may also just add, I would suggest that this would typically be a ordinance that was codified as part of your procurement code. So we would bring back an ordinance that embraced a preference or a point system that gave credit towards a minority business or a small-owned business. And I assume a local business, like a local business preference, would be included within that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
12.6, Washington, D.C. flash fly-in update. Commissioner Jacobs.
Looks like my item got a dent instead of an attachment is on the agenda. So I had the privilege of representing our community in Washington, D.C., alongside with nearly 50 other leaders across Florida. We convened under the banner of the Federal Action Strike Team Fast Fly-In to encourage our state's congressional delegation on pivotal issues affecting the municipalities such as Pembroke Park. The fly-in serves as a critical platform for fostering a collaboration of relationships between local and state federal governments. FLC President and Cooper City Mayor Greg Ross stated the event was fortified our collective foundation and enabling us to build a stronger Florida. We're grateful for the active participation of our congressional representatives. During the time in D.C., we voiced strong opposition for H.R. 3557, the American Broadband Deployment Act of 2023, which threatens local government over public land and telecommunications infrastructure. We also pressed for long-term reauthorization of the National Food Insurance Program, sought to streamline the federal grant process. Our focus also extended to finding enduring solutions for soil and water contamination by PFAS, along with advocating for federal liability protections for our cities. FAST Chair and Parkland Commissioner Bob Mayerson, I don't know how to pronounce it. Mayerson summarized the impact of our trip. The political climate notwithstanding, our unity was palatable. It was evident that our advocacy with the congressional leaders on issues of critical affecting our cities. Prior to visiting Capitol Hill, we were briefed by the Florida League of Cities and the National League of Cities federal advocacy teams. The delegation also had the honor of meeting with Senators Marco Rubio and Rick Scott. The value of this advocacy mission cannot be overstated, as we stood united, amplifying the needs and concerns of Florida's municipalities. I don't know how it ended up on the agenda. It should have just been a...
It's called user error.
It's fine.
Okay. As you know, 3 of us went up there, and we advocated on behalf of the League of Cities on the issues that the League of Cities had, but we also advocated on some of our own issues in the town, and we brought attention to the DEP issue with the water, with our Superfund site, and we do need to follow up with the representatives up there to see if they can get it done to commercial, to residential guidelines on the cleanup, because of the way that that is situated with the flooding and the standing water and the fact that water moves, and so therefore you're not fully going to be able to contain contaminated water, and it is going to end up leaking into our system. We also discussed funding opportunities, including potential funding for a new community center. And so I think it was a great trip.
Yeah, I thought it was very productive, and we met a lot of our colleagues who are very engaged in local community. I'm thoroughly impressed of the skill set that these gentlemen and ladies have. I found it very productive.
Yeah, and so it was a great trip, and next week we'll be going to Tallahassee for the fly-in up there, and we have some issues to discuss with our LBR request. Okay, with that we're going to move on. 13 attorney report.
I have nothing, Mayor Commission. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Town manager.
Yeah, just a few items. The HMGP grant on the roof is completed. We're just waiting on the final right now. So hopefully that should be closed out. On the generator, also, we just received another 1-year extension because the company who was working on it actually said they no longer can work on it. The engineer left. So I have to get another company to step in to get that completed. The Geoskater grant, we recently, actually today I got another change on the grant. So I'm communicating with FDEP on finalizing that as well. Police build out the request for the addition for the holding cells. We are waiting on the contractor to give us some numbers on the costing for that. The complaint I received from Commissioner Jacobs on the utility lines on Pembroke Road, I communicated it to FPNL, Comcast, the same day. They have actually reached out to the 2 other utilities that use the pole. There's a permit that was filed last week to correct all those lines that are sagging, and some of those that I went out there and looked at it personally as well.
That was not my complaint. That was...
No, I said the complaints we got from the business owners via you sending it to me. So we are looking into it, and Comcast is actually pulling a permit to correct some of those lines that are sagging along Pembroke Road. The Circle of Honor, Mayor, you asked me to get some...
Yes.
All right, so you could put that, give me further directions on what you want, how do you want to proceed with that? Sanitary sewer calls, the building department is increased in terms of complaints and permitting. with the influx of the snowbirds, we are doing about 6 to 7 calls per day now on some of the parks. So because of the population increase, the ad Helms has started the design for the HVAC system. And at the last commission workshop, I believe the interim town attorney spoke about Bamboo Paradise and actually getting a surveyor to look at the meets and bounds that was described in that document. I actually got a price already. It's $15,000 to get it done. And that's a company on our CCNA list. So if, depending on what direction I get, then I can move forward with actually getting the right of way, establishing the property lines and all the features along the linear park. So again, I'll wait direction on how to proceed with that. That's all I got.
Okay. Have you gotten the quotes for the repairs for the Circle of Honor? Because we definitely need to get that fixed because it's a hazard with some of those marble slabs.
Tentatively, about 2 months ago, we had like $2,000 to repair some of the tiles and reset some of the flooring tiles that are coming up and to do some maintenance around the structure. But we'll have to get some updated quotations on that.
Okay, can you get the updated quotes? And also, because the last placard was done in 2015, so we need to do the following ones that came after that.
I believe Commissioner Jacobs had a question.
Go ahead.
Got questions? Last commission meeting discussing the interim town manager position.
Wait, we're still on the Circle of Honor.
Okay.
We're having a Circle of Honor.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, with that, can you get the quotes to repair the broken marble and do all the repairs?
I will,
But
yes.
also to update the placards.
Okay.
Okay.
And please
clean
make
up
sure
the.
they're spelled correctly. There's typos out there.
Yeah, I saw it.
And also, there are several trees that are missing for the coconut trees that were dedicated. So you have the placard in front of them, and there's no tree behind it. There's a big hole.
Oh, they probably died. So
Yeah.
you need them replaced?
Yes. Okay. And that's it for the Circle of Honor. And you'll have that for the next meeting, so
Yeah.
we can move it forward. Okay. Now your questions for the town manager.
These are discussion for the interim town manager position. Last meeting, you were given direction to reach out to who is available still for the interim position,
Off the FCCMA list?
off the ones that we interviewed.
I wasn't here for that. I'm not
Okay, let's
sure.
just say it's safe to assume it didn't happen.
No, the list, I was never privy to the list. I could follow up if you want.
I already
Get the
did.
list.
I called them all this afternoon to see
Okay.
who was available and still interested.
Okay.
We have Louis sorry, I don't want to mention their names. I don't know if we had them all here
So I
as
don't.
public record. I will send you the list of names that all said yes, that they were still available.
Okay.
My concern is where the direction that we're going. Last workshop, 3 commissioners stated they did not want the individual that they voted for the interim manager. So, and then I read an article in the Sun Sentinel that stated that you stated that the commission wasn't going with the interim, just looking for a permanent. And then today, the mayor and vice mayor had 2 kind of different discussions going on, weren't exactly on the same page. We, in August, approved for FCCMA for a contracting company to look for our permanent town manager position. That is completely separate. We also were looking for an interim to fill the time in between hiring the permanent town manager. So last workshop, 3 commissioners sat up here and stated that they did not want the person that's gone through the background who was here. And so we asked who was available so we could have that discussion tonight and bring that forward. And these all individuals are 5 individuals out of the original list of interims are still available and interested in the position. So how are we going to proceed with the interim? These are people that applied, that interviewed, that we put time and effort into.
If I could state something,
Yes.
I have the list of the the individuals that were interviewed, one of the problems that we have or had is because since there were 10, we were having issues with them having more than one person vote for them. So basically, you all voted for, separate people. So there wasn't a consensus of to be able to say, these are two and so on and so forth. But give me 1 second, because I did go ahead and look
You
through
did have
it.
a second and a third.
Thank you very much.
The
You
list
did.
is down to 5.
Because everyone's supposed to basically vote their top 3 and then see what the consensus was.
Which all commissioners didn't follow that direction.
No, that's true, because some voted for 1 and some voted for 6.
You're supposed to be ranked in order of the ways you wanted them.
Top 3.
Okay.
So,
Okay,
if the commission wants, they can either go to the second name on the list and see if they're available, and if that person's not available, go to the third person on the list, and then bring it back before the commission if that is not available.
So according to what you all have gone ahead and picked, based on, there were 4 individuals that got two votes for each. One of them is Mr. Louis, Chapman Louis. The second one is Davis Cedric. The following is Smith Gerald, and the last one is William Chandler. So those got 2 votes.
I haven't heard back from Cedric Davis yet.
So if you want, next meeting, you can follow up, bring it before the commission, see who's available, rank them again, and move it forward. But I mean, at this point, I was just moving forward on the permanent and getting the permanent done, because that's going to be a 6-month process.
We need the permanent. We also need an interim, because we need our public works director working in the public works department, not doing double duty as the acting town manager and the public services director.
Well, he's been handling the position since August.
Yeah, I think he's doing a pretty good job under the circumstances, and I think he can hold the fort until we get a permanent town manager.
I agree.
That will save us a lot of money.
Did you want to make a motion?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion that we skip the interim manager position and look straight for hiring a permanent manager, town manager.
I second it.
Further discussion?
I think that's a bad idea.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Morissette, seconded by Acting Clerk Commissioner Kashem. Mayor Mohammed,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
No.
Acting Clerk Commissioner Kashem,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morissette.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-1.
Okay, so that was, is there anything else you have for the town manager?
Nope.
Okay. Commissioner reports, Commissioner Jacobs?
I stand by my previous recommendations as I made as a resident. I believe we need a new building official in here. And at the same time, I still stand by the fact the town clerk should be suspended pending the further investigation without pay.
Any comments?
Yeah. Based on the letter I received and Commissioner Jacob acquisition, if Jacob Marlin, is question for you. If Jacob sent you picture of work being done and was any work being done inside, do you have those pictures?
Commissioner Jacobs, have you done work inside your house without permits? Or have you done work at all? Do I have pictures?
You know what you have on my phone. And see, this is continued harassment. Thank you, Commissioner Kashem, for adding to that as well. She knows what she has. I don't need to support what she has.
Based on your statements in the past regarding accountability, I had nothing to do with the letters that were submitted. But since you've gone ahead and made it on this dais pretty clear that according to you, I gave my texts over to the mayor, which I didn't, okay? Then now this becomes public record, the pictures that I do have on my phone. So I will be happy to submit them.
The town clerk
Because
again
this
does
is
not have a
again-
voice on the dais.
I have a voice, sir, just like you do, because see, this is my First Amendment
commissioner.
right.
She was asked the question and she answered it. That's what commissioners do. We ask staff questions, and she was asked a question she has to answer.
Commissioner Jacobs, you're getting exactly what you've requested from each and every one of these employees. Accountability. You need to provide accountability. And therefore, if I was the person who would have sent that, I would have sent the pictures that really are damaging, because those are not at all. But thank you very much for bringing it to the attention of this dais. Thank you very much for bringing it to the attention of that attorney. Thank you very much for bringing it to the attention to all these residents that because of the way you've acted, they have gotten cited for the exact same thing. I haven't said
Continued
anything, sir.
Let her finish, please. Let her finish.
Sir, when you stood up there, you weren't standing up there as a commissioner, you were standing up there as a resident. Now you're sitting up here as a commissioner. As a resident, you can make a mistake. As a commissioner, you know better. As a matter of fact, you have continued to bring forth so much shame to this town. And all anybody has ever done is try to keep things together. But like you said, sir, you will not be silenced, and neither will anyone else. And although I give you credit for you to think that I'm the one who orchestrated this, but I don't have time for this. I have a life, and it doesn't involve the town of Pembroke Park, Commissioner Jacobs, at all. But you continue to do what you need to do, because every step of the way, somebody will be there to ask for your accountability. Thank you very much.
Ms. Vika, do you have anything else?
Yes. I attended our two events, which one is the Halloween and the healthcare, which one turned really good. I really appreciate our staff, especially Suji, Stephanie, and Ghani, always there all of the time. And the vendor bring us a lot of information, and our resident is really helpful with those information, and it will be helpful for in future. They knows what to do right now. I want to like to those events more in our park, so I think it's a really help for our residents. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I found the fall festival we had was fantastic. What a success, Susie. And there was a lot of happy children and families there. That was amazing to see the turnout. I was literally blown away by it. I'll ask the town attorney, when we came here tonight, there was an anonymous letter on our desk. Would that be appropriate to read it? It is anonymous.
It's a public record.
Okay. It is to the mayor and the commissioners, and I can tell from the English that it's definitely not coming from Marlon Martel. I need to bring to your attention some information I have come across about one of the elected officials that currently sits during your meetings. Commissioner Jacobs always talk about how he is always doing the right thing for the town. He did remodifications to his house. Please, you all must deal with this. The pictures show the outside, but I also saw lots of materials being brought inside. Look at all the work that he permitted to do this. I'm sorry about the English. I never saw any inspectors come to the house. He spent our money on meals and clothes. Who watches him? I feel the need to send this anonymously so this individual does not come after me like I have seen him do to others. Please have someone look into. It doesn't seem right. And it comes with some pictures of, I presume that's your mobile home, I wouldn't know. And it's copied to all the commissioners, and I don't know, have you received the same letter? It says CC town attorney, city clerk, building official, code compliance supervisor, TV stations, and the Sun Sentinel.
Our office did receive a copy of the letter you just read into the record.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay, thank you. Okay, my comment. So, number one, I want to thank our vendors. I want to thank our staff first for making the event a success. Without our staff members, we wouldn't be able to put these events together. And them dedicating their time and energy and, you know, taking away from their family time on the weekends to be able to provide for the community. They're doing layman's work. You know, I really and truly appreciate all the hard work of our staff. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed because I'm normally here doing these events, and this is the first year that I haven't had to put that much time and energy of my own time into getting this done. So I am very thankful to Susie and Stephanie and all of our staff for, you know, doing that. I loved it, and I appreciate it, and the community appreciate it. And so with that, Aline, can I give direction to give them, all those that worked on my events at Comp Day? I got the evil look just now. I'm getting the evil look. But they can use it within the next 4 months. So they don't all take it at one time. You're giving me the evil look? Come on.
You're gonna have to go hour for hour. That's it. Nothing more.
Okay.
That's fine. I know, but I appreciate them, and I want to make up the time for them to spend with their family because they are losing. You guys lost your Saturday to be with the city, so, you know, you didn't have to do it, but you did.
Uh-huh.
And the same thing with the holiday party. I want to be able to send the staff home afterward. They can go shop and do whatever they need to do for their family that Friday, so they'll have like a 3.5 day weekend or whatever. You agree with me, don't you? See?
Yeah, I do, but I think we should address that wild dinosaur that was present. I thought he was very scary. And
yes. The second thing I want to do is I do want to thank our vendors who came out. I do want to acknowledge them here tonight because of the fact that they came out, they gave their time, and they brought a lot of resources to our community. So we had children's diagnostic and treatment. They provided resources for pregnant women, free caring intervention services to children from birth to 36 months. We had Epic Care Pharmacy, their independent retail pharmacy in our city. And, you know, we do like to support our local businesses. Florida Department of Health, they actually were doing mobile vaccines in our parking lot. There was Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and we're going to be partnering with them for future events, but they were providing information about alcohol and drug prevention education. Nova Southeastern University, they had their degree programs information and also their clinic information. Sunshine Health, United Way of Broward County, they did a lot on substance abuse prevention and behavioral health and wellness. The United Way of Broward County, Harmony Development Center, Florida Department of Health, they were actually signing folks up for WIC. The Epilepsy Foundation was providing information about epilepsy because epilepsy affects so many people, and people don't know it. Gilda's Club, they were providing information, free counseling for cancer survivors, HIV prevention programs, Maxip Telecommunications. Now, I thought this was the coolest thing I'd ever seen, were those phones that literally you're talking and it's typing up everything. So for those that are hearing impaired, it was a free program that the federal government was basically providing these phones. They would come out and install it for you, and basically, as you were talking or whoever was talking on the phone, it would type everything up so you could see it for those that had hearing issues. So I thought those were kind of cool. We had CAN Community Health. They were doing HIV testing and STD testing. Chin Senior Health, CapTel Outreach. I don't remember this one. Averty Insurance, Community Care, One Blood. The supervisor of election was doing voter registrations, especially because everybody got purged, so they were signing people back up. That's something that we have to definitely do a movement in the city with, because anyone who received their absentee ballots, they got purged as of January of this year. So we need to basically re-enroll those folks so that they could be able to do vote by mail. South Florida Diamondback Associates, that was the pharmacy students. They were doing counseling and stuff like that, but they were FAMU graduates for the pharmacy program. Florida Kids Care, they were signing folks up for free or low cost kid care insurance, and they said that the guidelines have changed. So starting January 1st, there are going to be more people who are eligible for kid care, where they just have to pay $20 a month for full service for their kids. Care Plus, Recovery Village, they were doing mental health stuff, the HEAL program from Broward Health, the Florida Department of Health, Tobacco Prevention, the Florida Department of Transportation, and Marty Care's office was also signing folks up for the fraud prevention with the whole title thing, scams that were going on. So I do want to thank our, oh, who did I miss? Oh, yeah, yes, they were definitely out there. So we want to thank BSO Fire as well. You know, they came out to our community to show their support and provide information to our residents. And we want to thank them for coming out, because without them, we wouldn't be having a health fair. And they provided so much information. They said it was a great success. And they look forward to coming back to working our events, because it was so well organized that, you know, I do have to thank staff for making sure that it was a success. And we look forward to doing other events like this. I want to pass this out. Frederica Wilson sent out an email asking what are the top priorities that we want for Congress. So I want to pass that out so that we can kind of get this done for her and get it back to her office, so that they know what we're looking for from her. So I do want to pass that out. And then the last two things, I do want to make a statement to kind of clarify some of the stuff that was said tonight. But then also, I want to ask how you guys feel about bringing some of our services back in-house. I think there are some services that we need to bring back in-house.
Specifically?
I'd like to bring back, well, I like Tidy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I kind of liked having her in-house, because I know there were grants that she was doing before I left, where she was.
Siegel?
Yeah, she was.
Siegel.
I remember when I left, she was doing like these in-house grants and things, and I kind of like that. And so I kind of like to bring that service back in-house. If you guys are interested in bringing that service back in-house, I'd like to look at it.
Pays for itself.
Okay. So, Eileen, what do you need from us? Just direction? You think you got that? Everybody kind of shook their head and said, yeah. Okay. Also, is there an update on where we are with the audit for the building? Is there an update on where we are with the audit for the
Police department? Or?
the build out and the building department?
Building department, we contacted one firm.
Okay.
Actually, he sent an email this week, but I was busy dealing with the other stuff. So I'm going to reach out to him tomorrow, and I'll give you an update at the next meeting or the next workshop.
Okay. Should we do a RFQ or a letter of intent or what?
Depends what you're referring to, the building department?
An audit for the building department fees so that we're in line.
Yeah, I mean, if I know do you have some quotes? I know you had reached out to an auditing firm.
What was done is that actually when Calvin Giordano was selected, we had to select a second company on that list. That's the company that I went to. So,
But to do the audit, their finance?
Not for finance, for the building department.
Okay.
There are two companies on that list,
Okay.
Calvin Giordano and the other company.
Okay.
But I'm sorry.
the audit's separate, so we want a finance company like a CPA
Oh, so you
firm.
need okay.
Yeah, to kind of give us the numbers. So do you want us to vote for a letter of intent or RFQ tonight?
No,
I feel like we've been having this conversation, but it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I want to make sure I understand. So you're looking for an auditing firm to do an audit of the building department. Right? So that's separate and apart from what you were referring
From
to?
the building fees, you asked to
Yeah,
look at the
but
building
we want an
fees.
auditing firm to do it.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're talking
all
about
right.
like a CPA firm,
Yeah.
or like a forensic audit
Yeah.
firm.
Yes.
Okay, so that could be considered a professional service under our code. Let me just do some research, get with the manager.
Okay.
If we
Okay.
need to put together a solicitation, we will do that. If there's an opportunity to do a direct engagement, we will do that.
Okay.
Because I believe you wanted to look at the cost, right? The cost
Yeah.
of permits and.
Yeah, I
Because it
wanna
costs like close to $5,000 for the roof.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I want to bring those fees in line. Come on down, Steve. I want to definitely bring those fees in line, and I also want to know what's been happening in that department for the last 3 years,
okay.
because I know there's been like a lot of code violations and things like that. So I want all of that addressed and looked at.
Okay, not dealing with the audit, that's the auditors, but dealing with the fee schedule. I have been working with the interim city manager on
Yeah.
a fee schedule study, dealing with a bunch of the other cities. We can have that for you by your workshop.
Okay.
Our fees are from what I'm seeing, they're pretty much in line with other cities, but we can have that for you in the next workshop.
Okay. Okay.
Is that what you're looking for?
No, I also want to know what happened in the building department for the last 3 years. Okay. I think I covered everything other than, I just want to clarify a couple things for the record. Because it was stated that the town is failing. When I left the town in 2021, we had close to $9 million, I think, in reserve. I wouldn't call that a failure. The town has been growing steadily for a number of years. We grew this town to 700 businesses in 1 square mile. We have worked with our businesses, we work with our developers to grow the city and bring businesses that were attractive, that didn't create nuisances into the community. We worked diligently with within the Seneca Industrial Park to safely and effectively fill the lake so that we could have warehouse space so that companies like Amazon and Prologis could come in. We worked hard all of these years. We were not sitting up here twiddling our thumbs or doing nothing for all of these years. When I left the city, we had a healthy reserve. We have over 700 businesses, and we were in pretty good standings. To hear that for folks to claim that the town is failing is an inaccurate depiction of the town. And I think that we need to clarify for the record and stop making all of these negative statements regarding the town, regarding these commissioners on this dais. Because all of these commissioners have lives outside of this place, and all of these commissioners are not sitting here worried about what one commissioner is doing over another. So when things like this are said, it's a disservice to the community. It's a disservice to being an elected official. It's a disservice to the residents who are paying their tax money to have this place function and provide services for the community and meeting the needs of the community. Everyone on this dais, everyone in this community is expecting more than what it has been receiving. And this really does need to stop. We have a job to do, and that is to provide government services to the residents of Pembroke Park. We have a duty to be able to hold our head up high and be proud of what accomplishments we've done. And we've done a lot of accomplishments, and we are continuing to try to do those accomplishments, but we are constantly being beat down by one person on this dais. We are constantly being accused of things on this dais. I've been accused for 4 years. I've had my name dragged through the mud. I've been affected by it, and it's continuing to go on baseless allegations that have been made by people on this dais. I've had false reports filed. I've had false information put out there. I've been attacked by the media on allegations that have been made. I am the center of attention on someone's Facebook page, and it's brought to my attention because I don't even check Facebook. I'm not that social media savvy, nor do I care about social media. I care about living my life and enjoying my time, whether I'm in Hawaii, California, New York, South Carolina, or wherever I may be. It's not about me sitting here reading somebody's Facebook page, but it is upsetting to constantly be the center focus on frivolous allegations. I just stood here today on November 8th, 2023, after being accused of having a weapon on me in a city government building. I've had the police called on me, which is absolutely baseless, given what I'm wearing. I don't know where I could hide anything, but I think it's ridiculous, and I think that at this point, you need to seek professional help, because I've never done anything to you. I've never attacked you. I've never lied on you. You have gone around telling people I've stolen money. You've gone around telling people I'm going to jail. You've lied and accused people of having affairs on this dais, and it needs to stop. We need to get a job done and move this town forward. This has to stop. I'm hoping that today this will be the last time and that we can move forward, because you were decent when you started. You weren't a bad commissioner. We worked together. We got things done. We started to move this town in the right direction, and it changed. I would like to move this town forward and stop with the baseless allegations, the constant attacks on this dais with the commissioners and with the staff. These folks are new. They don't need this. I don't need this. Nobody needs this. We just want to do a job, and that's serve our community. Everybody here wants to serve our community. That's it. So with that, I hope we can move forward in making this place a better place. And that's all I'm going to say. If there's nothing else, everybody has the announcements. The special magistrate hearing is Wednesday, November 15th. The workshop is November 27th. The regular commission meeting is December 13th. The next workshop is January 3rd. We have the Thanksgiving giveaway Saturday, November 18th. Please contact City Hall to register for the Thanksgiving giveaway. It's for residents of the town, and you need to be pre-registered for that event. Also, the toy giveaway is Thursday, December 21st. And again, you need to pre-register with that. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned at 9:50.